see the confusion when numbers get deep. Believing your family exposed makes you weep. Turn my whole life, let's look at the scope. Giving your children an anchor hope. As a realtor who knows how the market will move, I'm putting your family right into the groove. From the foundation up to the roof on your head, let's execute everything we ever said. Because the foundation you build has to stand through the rain. We're clearing the doubt and we healing the pain. Don't let the tomorrow just slip through your fingers today. Listen close to the words that I say. There's wolf in the shadow, they watching your plate. They sending the emails to alter your fate. But I am your shield and I'm guiding your hand to the best professionals across the whole land. If I cannot fix it, I know.
Hey, welcome back to the 30 Metro channel. Welcome back, everybody. Hi, everyone. And, here's the question. We'll start this out. And this may sting a little bit, but have you ever stopped and added up just how much money you've handed over in rent money over the last 5 years, if you've been renting for 5 years? For most people, that number is way bigger than they expect. And today, I want to show you why waiting too long can cost you even more. So let's break this down. When you pay rent, that money goes into, it's gone forever. Your landlord gets it, and you get to live in that place for that month. But you build zero equity in that property. Now compare that to a mortgage payment. Part of that payment goes toward interest. Sure, that's the cost of taking a loan, but part of it goes towards toward the actual mortgage payment, the actual principal that you owe on the mortgage, which means you're building ownership in an asset every single month. And that's really important because the idea is you get into a home as quick as possible, you pay that home off, and we sacrifice always for our children. That's an asset you pass on to them to maybe do bigger and better things with. But here's why waiting really can hurt you. Rent goes up almost every year for a lot of people, unless you get your 2-year, 3-year deal. In many areas across Georgia and Alabama, rents have been climbing faster than incomes. So let's say your rent is $1,500 a month, and it goes up just 5% each year. After 5 years, you could be paying $1,900 a month, and you still own absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, if you had a fixed rate mortgage, your principal and interest payments could stay the same for 30 years. Tip, that's the only way to lock in your rent. A lot of people say, I ain't buying a house because you know we own it anyway because you got taxes. That's true. It has some truth to it, but it's not an absolute truth. There's ownership, but it gets bigger than the monthly payments. Think about home prices themselves. Historically, home values tend to rise over time if you wait 5 years to buy a home that's worth $300,000 today, okay? And home prices rise, let's say 4% a year, okay? That same house could cost $360,000, just, a little later, just 5 years later. That's $60,000 more just for waiting. And on top of that, every year you wait is another year you're not building equity or benefiting from that appreciation. Because that $300,000 you could have spent 5 years ago, that's $6,000 that could possibly have been part of your home equity. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should just rush out and buy a house tomorrow, but if you do, call me. Numbers right here. Call me. Let's get things started and popping. But there are good reasons to rent. Flexibility, not being responsible for maintenance responsibilities, and still figuring out, where do you want to put down your roots? Where do you want to raise your kids and all this other kind of stuff? But if buying a home is part of your long-term plan, the math is pretty clear. I think you would agree. The longer you wait without a reason, the more this tends to cost you in the long run. Now let's talk about something else that can cost you money if you're not careful. Where's my button here? The sound is sounder time.
Alert, alert, alert.
Jeez.
Alert, alert, alert.
You gotta keep your head on Keep your head on a swivel.
Alert, alert, alert. Alert, alert.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Alert.
If you're still renting and, apartment hunting, people, you got to watch out for application fee scams. And here's how these work. Scammers post listings for apartments that look absolutely amazing. They are priced below market value. So when you reach out, they ask you to pay, pay the application fee. If you're serious, I'm gonna hold this for you. But you pay the application fee, just send it to my Venmo. warning. Before you even see see it in person, you pay, and then the unit either doesn't exist, or it's already rented out, or the person with your money just disappears and just goes silent. So how do you protect yourself from that? Never pay an application fee or a deposit, first of all, without touring the unit in person and meeting the landlord or a verified property manager. Be suspicious of anyone that claims they're out of town and can only communicate, by text or email. People do it all the time. I personally have a close friend of mine who works for one of the largest homeowners in America, and his job is really to just put people out that are even, I would say 75% of them, people have been scammed out of their money. Yeah. There's one person that's the bane of his existence, but this person keeps him employed. Okay. If it weren't for this guy, who we think could be, he's somewhere out of the country, but he gets people. He gets people. And here, like I said, never communicate with people that text or email, but always pay application fees through a trackable method. Not cash, not a gift card, not Venmo, some peer-to-peer payment. Cash at me. No, out of your personal account. Both Georgia and Alabama law require landlords to, provide certain disclosures and honor lease agreements. But those protections only help you if you're dealing with the real landlord and the real unit. It's the real unit. It's the real unit in the first place. I'll tell you right now, these people go, as soon as these companies put up one of the hundreds of thousands of homes they get, if it's in one of their area, they take it, they post it. Matter of fact, it don't even have to be in the area. They operate from out of town. They take it, they put it on Facebook Marketplace. They put it on, what's the other one? Craigslist. They used to use that a lot, but I hear that one most. I hear even eBay. Looking for disaster. All right, let's close with a money saving tip, because I like putting that money in your pocket that turn your lease renewals into a wealth building tool. Now here is the move. Every time the lease comes up for renewal and your rent goes up, let's be honest, and it usually does. Sometimes you're staying with family, it still can go up. Don't let your lifestyle spending go up. Instead, increase your automatic transfer into your increase your automatic transfer amount into your down payment savings account. You do have a down payment savings account, by a fixed amount. So I know you're already saving $150 a year. When your lease comes up, find a way to put $25 extra in there. Here, this works very well because you're already adjusting your monthly budget because the rent increased anyway, right? So your spending habits are probably going to have to change, correct? So you want to go to you're already in adjustment mode. Man, I got to come up with another $150. Well, do I let the gym go? Okay. Or do I adjust my cell phone, adjust my cable? Especially people out there paying $200-$300 in cable bills. Maybe it's mixed in with something else, but look for adjustments. Switch carriers, get that temporary. Like my cable bill, I don't have cable, but I don't pay for cable TV, but my internet bill. Yeah, if I find me another person that can provide it cheaper, we're going over there as long as I can get comparable speed. You add one more step though. Bump up your savings transfer by say, $50 a month at the same time. I say 25, 20, anything helps, but just don't let it stay at 150 because that's what you decided to do 3 years ago. Bump it up. So you do this every year for 3 or 4 years of lease renewals, and you suddenly you build a habit of saving several $100s a month, and without ever having to feel big painful cut in your lifestyle. that money adds up fast enough. And it could be the difference between being ready to buy in 3 years versus being ready to buy in 6 years, and especially in 5 years. And we know what can happen in 5 years. $60,000 in value, a home could possibly go up with a 4% increase each year after you decide not to buy. So let's recap this video. Waiting to buy can cost you tens of thousands of dollars instead, and in rising rents and home prices. Never pay rental fees before touring the rental unit with a real landlord, and sometimes they get you with that too. I'm going to try to give you these little tips from time to time because there's a whole bunch of scams out there. And every lease renewal, use that as a chance to boost the amount of money you're saving in your down payment savings account, instead of increasing your spending, for some other reason. Okay. I hope you got it. If you got any questions, you got any comments, leave them down here. You can call or send me an email, text. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care of yourself. Watch out for those robbers. And God bless you guys.
I look at the children, they need us to stand, to give them a chance at inheriting land. As a licensed agent, I'm breaking it down. The best strategies that I found in the town. Term, whole, or universal, whatever you need. We picking the options where you will succeed. Don't wait for the storm just to look for an arc. Let's write up the contract and leave a home mark. Peace, that's the way that we live. Securing the future and learning to give. No more GoFundMe's to cover the cost. We're protecting our families from devastating loss. Yeah, we're standing tall and we're making it right. Walking out of the dark into the light. And if you need houses to build up the equity, I am the realtor to give you longevity. I match you with properties, match you with growth. Combining the real estate, balancing both. If there's an issue that's out of my zone, I got professionals right on my phone. You're never alone and you never will fall. The infinite living is backing it all. Policy and peace, that's the way that we live.